On the Iranian nuke deal, Iran is pushing the limits by perversely offering less. Why? Because it can. What has Vladimir Putin taught us? You test. Is anyone stopping me? You test some more. Is anyone stopping me? You test some more, and you push to the limits until you realize there are none. Putin has repeatedly tested President Obama, and President Obama has repeatedly failed those tests. Do you think for a second Iran doesn't know this? For years, Obama's been trying to reach a nuclear deal with the Iranian government. He's extended talks 3 times past their original deadlines. Each time, he makes more and more concessions. For instance, before talks began, a key demand was that Iran stop all uranium enrichment. However, under the latest framework agreement, not a single nuclear facility is to be demolished. Thousands of centrifuges would be allowed to spin and enrich uranium. The concern, of course, is that any enrichment could quickly be diverted to military use. I bring this up because the US and Iran are supposedly weeks away from signing an agreement. And yesterday, Iran's top diplomat suggested the US will make yet another concession. Mohammad Javad Zarif, Iran's foreign minister, said in New York that when Iran strikes a deal with the West, Obama will be forced to stop enforcing sanctions immediately and will have to lift all congressional sanctions within weeks. He specifically repudiated White House claims that sanctions would be phased out over an extended period. Watch.
If we have an agreement on the 30th of June, within a few days after that, we will have a resolution in the Security Council under Article 41 of Chapter 7, which will be mandatory for all member states, whether Senator Cotton likes it or not. So he will have to stop implementing all the sanctions, economic and financial sanctions, that have been imposed on Iran by executive order, by congressional decision. However he does it, that's his problem.
The foreign minister then went on to mock the president's claim that in the event of Iranian violations, sanctions would, quote, snap back. Watch this.
So if people are worried about snapback, they should be worried about US violating its obligation and us snapping back, not Iran violating its obligations and the US reverting back its sanctions. And that is a point that the United States should be seriously concerned about. This is not a game.
For all we know, Zarif could be right. Who is more likely to be misleading us, the foreign minister of Iran or Obama? The fact that that very question has to be asked should make us shudder. Mr. Obama has shown that he'll sign a deal, any deal, even if it's a bad deal. He's shown he's as flexible as an elastic band. See, here's the thing. Obama wants to say that Iran is coming into the community of nations, that they'll be a good actor. But he's not willing to link anything else they do to this nuclear deal. Earlier this week, for instance, Iran hijacked a Marshall Islands cargo ship traveling through international waters, a country that the U.S. has full legal responsibility for the defense of. The ship was fired upon, diverted, and forced to steer into Iranian waters. That's quite provocative, is it not? An act of war, perhaps? And Obama did what? Nothing. Not even, as far as I can tell, make a statement. He's also overlooked the jailing of 3 American citizens, ignoring the weird show trial Iran is putting on with a Washington Post journalist. Sure, he says this is unacceptable, but he's taken no concrete action to make Iran release those American hostages. That's what they are, that it now holds. Why has Mr. Obama done this? Why has he allowed Iran to drive these negotiations, giving its leaders virtually everything they want? It's simple. So he can say that he signed the legacy project with Iran. Of course, we can't say for certain how sanctions relief will occur. It's conceivable that Obama won't even be able to release sanctions on Iran's timetable. But at the very least, it's telling who holds the cards. Yesterday, Iran's foreign minister snubbed his nose at U.S. power. Whatever else, that message, that arrogance, sends a very bad message to the cause of peace and security in an ever more fragile world.